Don't say any F's and stuff.
Let's go. Stop.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? This to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her on the side and where
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy
There
has...
is not, really? This to me. Right, idiot.
I've done my best. It's hard, you know, that's real tough.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
There is not, really? This to me. But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
What's up? Welcome.
But I have to...
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Welcome.
But I have to put her... But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I bought corn dogs for this. Well, pass them out, and I hope they're cooked to perfection. One thing that I don't like about corn dogs is, and there are very few things that I don't like about corn dogs, is the fact that cooking them in the microwave is a travesty. It's an absolute travesty. And by the way, you know, fantastic show from the interview room. Billy Little, Greg and Chris knocked it out of the park, and you know, justice for D. Warner. It needs more attention. It deserves more attention, and they're doing their thing, you know. So, you know, they get things done. They move the needle. They always have. They always will. That being said, the only criticism of, and yes, listen closely, because I am going to criticize. I know. Who's super chat? Did somebody super chat? Oh yeah, thank you. Don't panic. Oh, thank you for the email. I'm definitely going to. Josh, have you tried air? I mean, I'm a in the oven kind of dude. I don't know what that meant, but that's who I am. I'm an oven guy, deep fryer, air fryer, whatever you want to do. I don't really care. But anyway, the best part of the show because I mean, it's just such a sad subject, but you know, Billy going Avatarless was just hilarious to me. And I was thinking, and then, you know, somebody in the chat goes, well, Josh, maybe you should take a trip to the library. And I didn't have much time before my show, but I went. I somehow made it. And did the Flight of the Bumblebee. You know, And I did it. And I investigated. I looked into everything. And let me just show you what we've come up with here. Okay, so this obviously is not it. Okay. Yes, Joyce. Joyce, thank you so much. I got to the library. You're right. I got there. God, I don't know which one's which. I don't want to. Oh, son of a gun. It's my labiversary. I've never heard that, but I love it. I love it. Labiversary. J-Lo. Gosh, there was one that I really... Okay, boom. Okay, there it is. So I found this somewhere buried deep away. It doesn't say where he was running for sheriff. I'm guessing that this is an old photo of Billy. Hat's a little small, pipe in the mouth. I'm guessing he's an ex. If he smoked, he's probably an ex-smoker now. But so, you'd be surprised at what you could find at the library. And so I heard him mention that, he doesn't want to run for office, but, he will if he has to. So I found this old flyer from many moons ago. Many moons ago. It says Billy Little for sheriff. No, the hat and the pipe and the hat are not real in any way, shape, or form. But check this out. So does anybody remember, and I was thinking about this because of all the time and energy that Chris and Billy have put into the D. Warner case. And, it's, oh, wait. You haven't seen anything yet. Trust me, Chris. You haven't seen anything yet. And probably, let me see here. Hold on. Ma. Anyway. All right. So, trust, like I said, you haven't seen. So I found that, but then I kept digging because I was like, there's got to be something else. But has anybody remember that old show, Highway to Heaven, where there's like these two angels, these like angels that morph around everywhere doing God's work? And I was like thinking, these guys kind of remind me of that a little bit in a non-heroic way, but in a heroic way at the same time. I'm think very highly of both of them. But I was thinking that's who they remind me of. And then I came across this, and you're not going to believe this. I found that. And I think this is the rebooted version of... So this looks like the rebooted version of Highway to Heaven. And it seems like they starred in this together. It seems like they starred in this show together. And I think it was like Highway to Heaven 2.0. Highway to Heaven 2.0. And, I was like, I recognize both of those guys right off the bat. I recognize both of them right off the bat. And I like how Billy has an afro. The thing was too, and so what I was gonna do, and I got to be honest with you here, what I wanted to do was I wanted to make it the Lethal Weapon. Like I wanted to use the Lethal Weapon, you know, with Mel Gibson in the hair. But the problem is, I would have had to make Billy, Danny Glover, who's black, and frankly, I don't need the controversy. After what they did to Robert Downey Jr. after Tropic Thunder, no way, not going anywhere near that. So the next best thing was Highway to Heaven, starring Michael Landon and whoever the other guy is that followed Landon around everywhere his whole life. So anyway, that's what I found at the library. It's a great library. I like it. Just when you think that this show can't get any more ridiculous. Just when you think you've seen everything. My mind goes here. And I don't know why. I have no idea. I don't even... Like Chris's hair, it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, talk about a mix of David Hasselhoff and like, look how deep of a V that, look at that. I wonder if Chris still has that jacket. It's a deep V, people. That thing. and then Billy comes in with the Al Borland plaid with an afro. But like I said, I just, you know, I didn't want to, I really, really, truly wanted to do the Lethal Weapon, you know, the back-to-back where they're holding guns. But like, I mean, Billy is just too white to pull that one off. And that's not his fault. That's my fault for wanting to do that. I just thought that Lethal Weapon was going to be a good choice. And then I did it and I go, Billy's black, so I can't do that. Anyway, my kids advised me of it. They said it's just not something we do. So I didn't. Josh, you have a really great deranged mind. Thank you. I appreciate that. One face is too small and the other is a bit too large. The V-neck reminds me of Fabio. Our editing department, like we don't have a really big budget for it. It's basically zero. And so we kind of take what we can get here at the lab. We're more into producing low quality content steadily. You know. Northern Light says, I have a feeling Chris might be visiting his library soon. Probably. Probably. I don't know if he's seen. I don't know if he's seen this one. I'm sorry. It was just, yeah, it's good stuff. But anyway, obviously nothing that I say will be taken seriously until this picture comes down. But that leather jacket is killing it. Killing it in a major way. High quality with low technology. Look, it is what it is. You know, let's just put it this way. I can enhance audio. I can clean up audio. I can clean up photos. And I do really, really bad memes because I think that spending too much time on something like that really just taints the process. Plus, I found it at the library. I didn't even do it. Say what you want. It's the library's fault, right? They didn't have them perfectly preserved like they should. But they, you know, bring back the deep V. I mean, that is one of the I've never seen a V that like go that deep ever. It's like playing limbo with his belly button. All right, moving on. Call-in numbers 858-299-2504. We're off to a roaring start today. I always, it's weird. I always have like a vision going in, and then I get in here and I just like, what can I do? What can I do to annoy everybody? What can I say? I think it's cute that you used Mike Lanner from Touched by an Angel. It's Highway to Heaven. Trust me. I Googled Touched by an Angel. Let me see. Still not feeling well since my dad passed away. Lurking and listening. Love everyone. Okay, Mitch, thanks for being here. Chris is out taking Buddy for a walk. Yeah, well, while Buddy's taking a poop, I've been editing their faces on to two actors. And by the way, he's calling me the sushi chef again. Says I look like Jim Belushi, the sushi chef. Sushi chef. And I hate sushi. I hate sushi, and I hate all forms of seafood. So, joke's on you, Chris. Joke's on you. 858-299. Let me see. Did I say 299? Yeah, I did. 858-299-2504 is the number to call, and we will get to you. So I wanted to talk about a couple things. You know, I put up I did some audio cleanup on this video actually right here. I didn't even bother with the video, but it's really interesting that this audio has now been released, audio, and so I'm going to play it, and then we can react to it on the other side.
What did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything. I told Adam everything. What did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything.
So, once again, this is such an odd case. Now, normally you see something like this and you'd go, well, and by the way, there is some debate as to what is being said. Some people think it's one thing or the other, and I don't exactly know, but what Fox News and News Nation is reporting is that, you know, it's basically saying, Maddie, what did you say to Adam? And then she said, like I told Adam everything. Now, is this in any way, shape, or form significant? I don't know. But what I do know is that when you put it with, if you look at this video, you hear a conversation like this. And by the way, whoever was speaking at first didn't sound particularly happy. They didn't seem terrified or fearful or anything like that. And you know, and this isn't even about, you know, Adam or whatever. It could be about a million different things. That could be the start of something, the end of something, you know. But if you couple it with just hours after this, a horrific murder takes place. Well, strange. But then again, it seems like any audio that you would hear from these from these college kids directly would be odd, because you know that they died just a couple hours later. And, you know, we listen to these things and then we try to overanalyze them. And look, when I hear this, to me, it sounds interesting. It sounds curious, but it doesn't prove anything, obviously. But at the same time, you have Mr. Gonsalves coming out on TV saying, you know, that this boy Adam that they're referring to, I believe, and by the way, I don't even know. I think that it's assuming that this Adam was either a roommate or a bartender. I've heard a few different things. I have no earthly idea, to be honest with you. I just know what the speculation is and and what the gossip is. Let me see here. And I wanted to see. And thank you, Subisu. Appreciate that. Who's Adam, Josh? Do we know? I don't know. I've heard a few different things. Okay, so I've heard both of these, but I just know that one of the girls is asking the other, what did you tell Adam? Like, I told Adam everything. And as minor of a detail as this may be, I don't know why police, well, I'm not saying I don't know why they released it. I know that they released it. I don't exactly know why they released it. But then you have Mr. Gonsalves talking about, well, you know, this guy, Adam, that they're speaking of, has been cleared. I don't know if that's the case or not, or that he's not a suspect. But once again, no disrespect to the grieving father. And you know, but I don't know if he would know that either. Maybe he would. I don't know if he would or not. Let me see. I don't know how they know that. You're kidding. There's a line to call. I've eaten 2 plates of sushi the past week. No, I hate. So happy. Came with extra wasabi. This little piece of conversation must potentially make the killer nervous or concerned. I mean, it's very possible. It's very possible. Somebody in here said that it was nothing more than, I don't even know where they went, but it was like speculation and gossip. There's no doubt about that. We're not going to deny that that's true. I mean, it is true. It is speculation and gossip, but it actually has some footing when you're thinking about the case itself. It's not like you're just saying asinine stuff to say it. Not just making things up out of thin air. I mean, to me, it was released for a reason, but I don't know what that reason is. Just like I don't know what the reason is for 90% of what they're doing in this case or other cases. But what I do think is that the scope is narrowing. The net is closing. And they're getting an idea, and things seem to slowly be trickling out, piece by piece, day by day, inch by inch. And it is slow. And that's very frustrating to people because, like I said, our lives are based off instant gratification. I'm the same way. What you want is things to happen immediately. Email, text message, phone call, FaceTime, Dropbox, Netflix. Everything is so convenient in our lives. We want it now. We want it right now. And that's just not how it works. And I think most people that are here realize that, What is Proud Mama doing? Drip, drip. Yeah, that's how I feel about it, to be honest with you. Feel the monster was lurking at night. I mean, that's completely possible. And like I said, I don't know how likely, but I don't know how likely anything is in this case. And so Jody says her voice sounds like the voice in the body cam saying, stop it, in an almost irritated tone. The heck was that? Jeez. So, sorry about that. Let me turn it on to subscriber mode. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Subscribe? Did you subscribe? Subscribed? Thanks. Appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Hitting the like button is a very important part of what we do over here at the lab. We need you to hit that like button. Thank you. Let me see here. Now I'm going to play this again. And the video is just, it's very not like it's nothing much, but the sound.
How did you say to Adam? Like, I told Adam everything.
See, I mean, she sounds a little annoyed. Told Adam everything. Obviously, something was going on. Is it related to what happened a few hours later? I don't know. Is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? I don't know. But I personally find that extremely interesting. This is probably the first thing in this case that I've really, like, my ears perked up at, besides, the white vehicle. But even then, it was still, and still is, such a general description, such just kind of a, it's some kind of, what is going on? Where's my alert box? Oh, hold on. Sorry. All right. Well, thank you for subscribing. It's a big deal. I love that. However, I need to turn that down. It's my fault. Maybe I'll do it later. Okay. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Sorry. Actually, I am going to worry about it right now. Sweet. Okay. So, like, I don't, like in everything in this case, and, I see the comment, which I agree with, could be some, could be nothing. Exactly. I mean, that's really what we're talking about here. And like I said, I'm not an internet sleuth. I'm not really that great at, like, digging stuff up, nor do I care to even really try. I feel like there's so many people out there that just do it, and I'm not a detective in any way, shape, or form, but like I said, this is the first thing This is the first thing that kind of perked my ears a little bit, you know. Cotton Farmer Josh, I know you don't know why, but what's your take on PD releasing this, knowing it would cause media havoc? I think a lot of it is placating. You know, here you go, chew on this, means nothing, run the other way, chase your tail, run in circles. But it is interesting to me. And in the grand scheme, could it mean something? Sure. Does it? I don't know. But I think that's I'm just maybe jacked, or, like, I could speculate all day. I just don't know. I really don't. But I do think that maybe they're just kind of throwing stuff out there. Like, here you go. Chew on this for a little bit while we work and do what we do. So, and Bipolar Bear was gifted a membership. Thank you, Linda, for doing that. It's very kind of you. Ellie might have cleared him, but did he pass on information? Exactly. I mean, of course. Of course. Who knows? Who knows what this means? But if you were to say that, so somebody plays this for you. Okay, and this is just, somebody plays this for you out of nowhere. You don't know any backstory. You don't know anything about this, okay? You just watch this.
What did you say to Adam?
And you understand what you say, the gist of what she's saying. I know that everybody doesn't completely agree on exactly what's being said, but the gist of it.
Like, I told Adam everything.
What did you say to Adam? I told Adam everything. Nobody in the world is going to care about that. But if you were to tell somebody, hey, watch this video, the two girls having the conversation here died. They were killed just a couple hours later. Does that change anything for you? Other than feeling a certain type of way?
What did you say to Adam? Like, I told Adam everything.
I would think that you would somehow feel different hearing that audio, knowing the backstory, or knowing what happened. That, to me, makes it relevant. But once again, I think every piece of information leading up to the time of the murders, I think it's all relevant. I think it's all relevant. And I'll answer this question as well. Voice sounds the same as the audio saying, stop it, stop. I've heard people say that. I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. I think a lot of people's voices in the distance, especially, females and male voices, are obviously mostly very distinct. I've met some very nice ladies bass singers and some very nice falsetto singing men, but in general, they sound, whatever. I'm not sure why I took a hard turn, but I'm telling you, there was this lady at our church. Her name was Jan, and she sang opera music. She was kind of she was, she had the big glasses with the chain. And I mean, she would belt, and I mean belt. It is well with my soul in like this voice that could be mistaken for a Viking ship caller. Is that a thing? but I mean, it like came from like way down low. It is well. It is well with my soul. Like that. And I would be like, a tear would fall down. A tear would fall down. And then I'd get hit in the back of the head for passing notes in church. But I mean, oh yeah, she also sang In the Garden. And I would be like, dude, Jan's going to sing In the Garden today. And it's going to go nuts. It is well. It is well with my soul. Boom. Bye. And then the tears would just go. You're going, go, Jan. She was the best. God. Anyway, back to wherever we were. So the voices, to me, you know, but so there's a way to kind of do this where you can try and lay, unfortunately, it's not the same words, but if you can even get like a couple of the same words, you can lay tracks over each other and see if the pitch matches or the, you know, just like when Jan would sing, it is well, it is well with my soul. Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, early in the morning. But instead she would go, you know, instead of going in the morning, she would go in the morning, and you go, damn, Jan, you go on with your bad self, Jan. Jan's in heaven now. Josh, please stop singing. Okay, whatever. It is well with. Know your tones, or else your tongue. Are we all being serenaded? No, you're not being serenaded. I was just having I was thinking about some old days, you know. It is church. All right, I want to listen to this again. Once more.
What did you say to Adam? Like, I told Adam everything.
So, like I said, you can feel however you want about that and think, you know, and dismiss it, or you can dive in and go, oh my God, this is the big break, or whatever. The truth of the matter is, none of us know, but it is interesting. It is an interesting little tidbit of conversation that may, look, if they were just saying, hey, I'm going to have nachos when we get home, or what are you going to eat at the food truck? That's not a conversation that's really going to, even for what happened to these kids, that's not a conversation that's going to raise any, you know, concerns. But I do think that something like this would, and has, and does. The video to me is, you know, I don't even know who that is in the video. Is that the hoodie guy? Yeah, it must be.
What did you say to Adam? Like, I told Adam everything.
So that's hoodie guy that Alicia said wasn't hanging, that you know, this guy was stalking him. You guys remember that whole thing? And I know there's a lot of people that are still on hoodie guy. I'm on everybody, man. I don't know nothing. That's a fact. That comes with a guarantee. I have thoughts. I have, you know. But
we are tracking a possible lead.
Oopsie.
tonight in the brutal stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. Newly surfaced surveillance video appears to show Kaylee Gonsalves and Maddie Mogan walking with a man in downtown Moscow just hours before they were murdered. The 2 young women appear to be wearing the same clothes when they stopped at a food truck. In this new video, they are heard talking about a man named Adam. Senior national correspondent Brian Enton live on the ground.
Yeah, before we get to old Brian standing out there freezing his butt off. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air. Same rules apply. No dog advice. Go ahead.
Hey, what you got back there? It's good to eat.
I don't have anything. Not at the moment.
You were talking about nachos.
Oh, no. Well, yeah. I use.
That's nacho cheese.
Yeah, nacho fault, nacho cheese.
I was just calling. I was a little slow on the dialing.
Were
to
you?
Get you to stop singing. I was.
Oh, is that what this was? This was an attempt to get me to stop singing?
It was.
Well, it's okay. Well, what was it that you didn't like? Was it the style of music, the voice, the what?
Let me hear it again.
Which one? You got it. Which one?
All of it.
Oh, I can't sing all of it.
Beginning.
I have to save some voice for the end of the show. You know, I can't sing like Jan did, but it would go a little something like this. I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses. All right, that's all.
Gosh, that was so much better than you did earlier.
Well, I was joking around earlier. I can't sing like a lady, or can I?
Okay.
Hee hee. That kind of sounded like a lady, didn't it? No, not at all, did it? So yeah, anyway, I'm done. I'm done singing for the night, no doubt. I am.
You are?
Yep, sure am.
Unless so you think the white car is red herring?
What's that?
Do you think the white cars are red herring?
No, I think the white car is
irrelevant.
No, I think it's very significant. I mean, they put it out there for the world to. When you say, and by the way, the person in the white car, who has not came forward and doesn't seem like they're going to come forward, you think that everybody in the next, 7 states surrounding Idaho would show up and say, hey, yeah, I have one of these, or yeah, I was in that neighborhood at that time. Why do you think that nobody has done that? Well, because obviously, yeah, the probably,
This is what I was going to say.
Well, yeah.
I think that, well, not everybody would, but wouldn't most people who have nothing to hide at least just make a phone call and say, hey, I drive one of these.
Yeah.
What do you need from me?
For sure. Look, if I know about this car and you know about this car, I don't know where you live, but it's probably not in Idaho.
Illinois.
Okay. So, I mean, you're closer than I am, but still, if you know about it and I know about it, then you definitely the person that was there on surveillance. And by the way, it sounds like the landlord of the house said that they saw a white car around that time passing by their complex, and that was also turned over to police. But, they obviously know. They obviously know that they don't want... You're going to have to find me. Yeah.
Don't you think that car is probably long gone?
Probably.
Like in the bottom of a lake?
Who knows? Maybe they set it on fire or something, but nobody's found a car that's been set on fire yet. And how I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, you would probably not. What are they? How are they going to get away from the cops?
Well, they already did, so.
Well, I don't think they've gotten away with it.
There's that.
If you think about it like this, and this is...
No, I mean the white car.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they've
The
gotten
car's
away.
already gotten away.
What's that?
Does nothing have a license plate? None of the surveillance has a license plate yet?
Not that I've heard of. Not that I've heard of. Have you? Because that's
No.
obviously what they would be looking for immediately is a
Right?
license plate number. And I just don't think that they have that yet. But it seems as though they're tracking this car. So now they're over in Troy, right, which is 12 miles away. They collected video from there. And then they're going to probably, you know, which way did they go? Okay, let's go down this street. Where's the video here? Where's the video camera system here? Did he go down this street? Did he go down, or I say he, but whoever it is, go down that street, this street. That's what's going to happen. And now basically they're chasing a vehicle until they can get great footage that shows you a license plate. And then they'll release that license plate number if they can't find them very fast. And then it'll be a manhunt. And that's when maybe somebody will torch a car. I don't know. I mean, it's what a lot of people do. I just hope that they're, matter of fact, I'm pulling that back. I don't want it in the ether. Just in case. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you think it's more than one person?
No, I don't. And the reason I don't think that it's more than one person is because I just be pretty hard to keep that quiet from, you know, more than one angle. I think it was a rejected guy or whatever. I think that they know him. I don't think it was random. I don't think it's maybe it's a serial killer at this point. Who knows? But I think it was this person's first time committing murder. And the only reason I'm telling you this is because I don't actually know. I'm just guessing.
You think it's really their first time?
Yeah.
Getting away with it?
Well, they haven't gotten away with
I mean, for
anything.
this long. I know, but for this time frame, I mean, I know they may have stuff behind the scenes.
Well, check
but
this
you
out.
think
So think of it this way.
to be that successful is what I mean.
Well,
to
just
get all four.
think of it this way. This person goes in this house and kills 4 different people in their sleep. And there's 2 downstairs that supposedly heard nothing. I'm not going to speculate for them. I don't know anything about it. I'm not saying that they have anything to do with it. I have no clue, just like everybody else. But this horrific murder happens in this house, okay? And police show up and they're going, what the hell happened here, right? And they see blood and, blood spatter and is it splatter or it's spatter, right? Yeah, spatter. And they're like, we got 4 dead college kids here. And basically from that moment on, you're like, okay, we're about to chase a ghost. And that's just how it is. And somehow, some way, you got to turn this ghost into an actual person. And that starts with the investigation, collecting DNA, taking statements, collecting video. So, obviously, they work from zero. They have nothing to start with. You understand? And so,
They do.
so that's, and I just think that that's where we're at. I think that's where we're at. And I think that's where, I think that they're starting to pick up steam. I really do.
I hope so. It's horrible.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, this whole
That
month or
person's still
so.
out there.
What's that?
You think that person's still out there? And
Well, look, if there's anybody out there capable of, committing murder in general, but, 4 murders, very personally, by the way, it's concerning. No doubt about it. But we also got to realize that, like, psychos walk amongst us every day, too, I mean, I kind of feel even though this person or whoever it is probably not anywhere close to me, there's somebody close to me that's crazy, So my doors stay locked, my windows stay locked. And Otis will kill you if you try and get into my house. He actually wouldn't. He would actually go get his toy. And I'd be a goner.
He brings you a gift.
Well, here's what he would do. He would greet the intruder with a toy, jumping up and down, and then he would run over to wherever I was sleeping and then show me to the intruder.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is what mine would do. Hold on a second. Isn't he sweet?
What the hell are you doing to that dog?
Petting him.
You're petting him.
Nicely, too. I am. He's my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, he sounds like it. Holy crap.
He wouldn't do it.
So,
and you know what? It's like 17 pounds.
Oh, my God. That was terrifying. Like,
and guess what? He looks just like a corn dog.
Is he a wiener dog?
He is a mixed breed. Wiener and something else. He's always happy like that.
That was psychotic.
Literally, the vet, when I take him into the vet,
yeah,
they have in big, red, bold letters on the screen, they had to make a new level for him, which is psycho.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes.
Yeah. I have to put his vet in the doorway. They give him a shot and knock him out, and then do whatever they need to do.
So, what's the dog's name?
Okay. His name is Jesco.
Jesco?
Okay. Have you ever heard
Jesco,
of
get
Jesco
out of here.
White?
What?
I don't know about that. Jesco White from West Virginia, the dancing outlaw. You have to Google him, Josh. You'll have to Google him later. And that is who this dog is named after, and it's so fitting.
Yeah. Jesco White?
My husband said, yes, of West Virginia.
So the vet has a policy against him?
Well, not against him.
Well, that made for him. He's like Billy the Kid.
There's 3 levels. The 3 levels were not good enough, so they had to make a 4th for him.
Yeah. So it's like, you remember 9/11 when it was like yellow, orange, red, and then for him it's purple.
It's something.
It's
something.
That's weird. Well, so you just petting him and that's what he does.
Uh-huh.
Why would you pet him?
Because he was sleeping and I walked over and petted him.
Does he try and bite you?
Sometimes.
Okay.
He bites my husband.
Actually, I you know what? I don't want to talk. Your dog sounds worse than mine, so and that's hard to do.
And he's so cute. He's so cute to look at him.
Ooh.
And he will walk over to you like new people and bring you this little dog. He'll bring you a blanket and he nuzzles his blanket like he's suckling and nursing his mother.
Oh, okay.
And then you get this other side.
That's good.
He's Jekyll and Hyde.
Suckling what?
A blanket. I call it his blankie. He has to have a blanket to go night-night. It's just a little, like, baby blanket.
Right.
And he wads it up in a little ball, and he acts like he's nursing, and he kneads with his little front paws and puts that big section in his mouth and just for 15 minutes. And then it's time to come under the covers and go to sleep.
And how old is he?
He is about 9.
It's time to grow up. No more suckling blankets at night.
We rescued him.
Oh, okay.
Come on, you gotta let him. You gotta let him. And it's the cutest thing you've ever seen.
Otis tongues this little tire sometimes, and it's not often, but like I'll just hear him, like he's got this little toy tire that he chews on, but well, he's supposed to chew on it, but actually what he does is he just like licks it for a while until he can find another toy that will go through it. But sometimes he doesn't even do that. Sometimes he just like licks it, and I'm like sleeping there. He's on the floor. I can hear it. It sounds disgusting. I get nauseous. And then finally I say, enough. And then I take the tire from him, and he just kind of like looks at me, and then he goes to suckle something else like your dog, you know. I don't know. Anyway, this conversation went from great to bad to great to bad to great.
We went from nachos to, you know, unaliving people.
Yeah, well, you know.
Dogs to singing. You were singing.
I sang. We went around the world, and we're back again. And I appreciate.
We did, and you redeemed yourself.
What's your name in the chat?
It's Follow the Grain. Follow the grain in your own wood.
Love it. Thank you so much for calling.
Have a wonderful night.
You too. Bye-bye. I'm not going to reflect on that. We're just going to power through it.
Around in Moscow with more on how this new video surfaced. Brian?
Natasha, we know that police have had this surveillance video since a few days after the murders, but we are now just seeing it for the first time. And it is not just video, there is also audio. Surveillance video newly obtained by News Nation shows what appears to be Kaylee Gonzalez and her best friend Maddie Mogan walking in downtown Moscow, Idaho, just hours before they were murdered. You can hear their voices in the video. For the first time, we are hearing the name Adam. The attorney representing the Gonzalez family says they believe Adam is a bartender and that he is not a suspect at this time. The Moscow Police Department not commenting specifically on the video, but in a statement to News Nation said, any digital content submitted as tips and leads becomes part of the investigation. We review and investigate submissions. Findings become part of the information we do not make public to maintain the integrity of the investigation. Meanwhile, the Gonzalez family is questioning whether the investigation is being handled properly by Moscow police, especially within the first 48 hours after the murders. Their attorney spoke to News Nation's Chris Cuomo.
From the get-go, we still get more and more information every day about mishaps or missteps that I think the investigation has made. You know, one of the questions we asked when we went in was, why not, within the first 24 to 48 hours, release some information about, we're looking for someone that may have missed work, that may have come in with, you know, injuries to their forearms or their hands, things like that. It's a small community. People that have taken a vacation immediately, things like that normal things that may be abnormal to people that live in the community, and getting that out. And they said they didn't do it because of investigative reasons.
Police continue to focus on the white Hyundai Elantra they believe was in the area of the house near the murders and are asking for tips related to the car. Detectives insist the investigation is not slowing down. With the holidays coming up, how does that impact the investigation? Because I know there's still dozens of FBI agents assisting and state police. Does that wind down at all?
It doesn't wind down, but we realize that people need a little time, need a little rest. We want them sharp and ready and, you know, get some relief so they can come back and not miss anything, stay really focused. So the intensity and the pace will remain the same, but at the same time, just giving people some turns to get out with their families, get a little bit of mental break so they stay sharp.
So police say that the pace will remain the same, but still no major updates. They haven't released any suspect information or a person of interest, but they insist this is not a cold case. Natasha?
All right, Brian Enton live for us on the ground in Moscow. Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
It might not be a cold case, Brian, but you look cold. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
How are you?
Sorry, I came in way too hot. I'm well. How are you?
No, you didn't come in too loud.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just
wanted to call and tell you I have never seen you that speechless over a phone call.
The dog?
Yeah, the dog.
I'm terrified for her safety.
That was so weird.
I hear about those chimp stories, where they like attack their owner, and I think that, or a snake that gets out of its cage, and it's like a little corn dog, wiener dog could attack in the middle of the night. I mean, you heard it.
I know. I thought at first that it might have been a fake button. You know how they record.
I heard phlegm.
People have those recordings of dogs,
Right. Well, I heard phlegm, so it was real, and it was terrifying.
It was real. You were speechless. I don't know. Very seldom do I get to hear you be speechless.
Yeah.
And you were.
Yeah, being speechless is a bad thing when you do what I do. But sometimes, what are you going to say to that? And you're like, oh my God, lady.
Well, I'm sure that we weren't the first people that laughed over that. They say those smaller dogs can be more vicious than...
Dude, they're the worst.
Some of the bigger dogs.
My sister has a teacup chihuahua. Her name's Izzy. And she's got this little Zelda toy. It's like a stuffed animal. And we have to get like 5 of them at a time because she decapitates it probably weekly.
Oh, wow.
She's like... And I'm going... But that's not when you pet her,
No, that was pretty awesome. Anyway,
well, here's the thing about it, though. I think, look, in this day and age, that's better than having a gun. That thing is it's like a big weeble or whatever. Basically, what are those? Like a possum, right? Possums are dangerous.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Have you ever heard a possum fight or a raccoon fight?
Yes, I have.
They sound like they're jaguars.
Scary. Yeah. It's very scary.
So, that dog is something else.
Yeah, that gave me my laugh for the day, I'll tell you.
Oh, it was funny. I've seen dogs do that before, and they're just sometimes when they reach it. My grandpa's dog Jack would do stuff like that. He was just an old, grumpy turd head, but he was really cute. But he didn't like being bothered, basically ever. He wanted to sleep, and if he wanted any kind of attention, it was for 30 seconds. And then it was like, get away from me.
Have you seen this is not really changing the subject, but along the line of dogs being loud like that and vicious no matter what size they are. Have you seen the video of the dog from the house?
Yeah, the Labradoodle.
Yeah, where I think it was Jack. It was at his house, and he had he was making a loud noise, and the dog was jumping all around, but the dog wasn't making a sound.
Yeah, have you ever been around a Labradoodle?
No.
They're first of all, they're insanely unintelligent. But they're insanely cute and docile and loving, and they're usually pretty scared, just in general. But
yeah,
you can't get them
I've
hyped
never
up.
been around. Yeah, it just seems weird that I've never been around a dog that doesn't bark.
Yeah,
and that just seems really weird. But I seen the video, and the dog don't bark.
It's the breed. They're very they're just kind of like that.
Yeah.
But they're super cute and super way nicer than Follow Your Grain's dog by like a lot. That thing.
Follow Your Grain.
You know what? Follow Your Grain. I'm going to have to call you back because, we might have to. I'm going to see if I can get a 2-for-1 on the seance or the exorcism. 2-for-1 coupon. I heard they do it on Tuesdays, and you can get those 2-for-1s probably at like your local Sizzler. I just made all that up.
I know. Okay, I'll let you go.
All right. Thank you for calling. I can't see my screen.
All right,
I put
bye.
sunglasses on. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let me see here. I might get struck for this, but I don't really care.
Joining me now is the father of Kaylee Gonsalves, Steve Gonsalves, as well as their family's attorney, Shannon Gray. Steve, thanks so much for joining the program again. I made a promise to you that our audience would stay on this case and not let this case die. We had a cooling off period last week out of respect for law enforcement to bring the temperature down a little bit. What new can you tell us, Steve? I know we got this new surveillance video that was released by our digital team today. What can you tell us?
That film, to the family, we've had that film for a while. I believe the business reached out to us directly, and after they had given it to the police. So it was kind of comforting to us because it's just two girls having a good time talking about, asking about their bartender and just being girls on their way to the grub truck.
Yeah, so you don't suspect that this guy, Adam, that's stated in the video is somehow a suspect or anything like that. You guys have known about this video for a while.
We have, and we asked, and we did the obvious due diligence when we looked into that, and it was pretty clear that this individual was not a part of the investigation as far as a suspect.
Good copy. So, Steve, what can you tell us about the investigation thus far? We've heard about the car details being released as well. Is there anything that we can do to get some answers for you guys so we can get this suspect, whoever it is, in custody?
They've kind of informed us through communications that they've checked all the easiest paths. So, like, if this individual had this car registered to his name and it was just something very quick that they could just look up in the area and go right to his house, they've done all the due diligence there. They've done all that. So now they're reaching out and they're going to look to the community, see if this individual borrowed this car. It doesn't appear that it's something that they have real easy access to. So he may have ran. And they really pushed the narrative saying, hey, if we can get these guys to focus on something that's really helpful, which is this car, and, find out if somebody says, hey, that car, that looks a lot like mine, I'm going to come forward and just volunteer my information. And then, they can figure out if somebody else had borrowed it or if who knows?
Steve, we talked about this off air. But one of the reasons why I want to bring this up is because I think it's critical to this investigation. A lot of these young people were teenagers, and there may have been some illicit activity that was minor that they would have gotten in trouble for, and it may be preventing them from coming forward. What can you tell these young people to kind of motivate them?
Well, we heard that one.
To give up some answers. Don't worry about all the petty stuff. 4 innocent lives were lost here.
I haven't even really thought about that, but that's actually a really good point. God, you'd think like if you had information, you having a joint or some beer that night or whatever would be really insignificant, but
Yeah, I want kids to understand that this is such a big case that these guys have their hands full. I wanted to go out there and tell everyone we support the Gonzalez family, support the local police officers.
Love this. I love this. God bless them.
Officers, so much so that we want them to be able to work on this case. I know that this is way over the normal workload that they normally have. Plus, they have patrols. They have to patrol now. This guy's not caught. So, there were some rumors that I called these officers a coward. That was not for these officers. That was for a lawyer that was standing in between what the officers would like to release and what is actually being released. And I called that individual, and this was just about coming forward and saying that the profile is a male. I feel like at a month we can rule that that's not going to hurt the case. It's pretty clear. Even the coroner said this was a very strong individual. 2 people had defensive wounds, overpowered those people. So I'm just trying to steer the conversation into a way. So I have another son. I have another person who's going to school there, and I don't want him walking around those streets if it's not safe. So,
Oh, wow. So he has another son that goes to school.
We know as a family what we're looking for. And, if they see an individual looking a certain way, I'm telling my kids, steer clear of that.
Steve,
but,
this
I
is
want other families to know.
Steve, this is your first, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, brother, but this is your first Christmas without Kaylee. How you doing? How's your family doing?
To be honest, we're not even really going to have a Christmas because you can't get yourself there to where it would make sense. One of my children, the youngest one, is going to go stay with some families because they're going to have the normal type Christmas, and she deserves that. But for us, we can't do that. It's too close to our heart. And how do you have a celebration like this when you've lost 2 of your favorite people in the world?
Yeah. Brother, we continue to pray for you, our audience as well. Thank you so much for joining.
So that was such a fantastic interview by the father. It's pretty incredible, the resilience and strength that they're showing. But behind the scenes, it's just got to be awful. It's got to be awful. And I kind of agree with that, too. It was kind of I didn't think that is the profile a male, that sort of thing. I think it's legit for a prosecutor to want to keep under their hat for the time being. Doesn't seem like a matter of being a coward. Look, we don't know what would compromise the investigation or not. But the Christmas question, it's just kind of weird. Yeah, why ask I don't know why he did that. Imagine the parents that lost their only daughter. Yeah, just, things like that are it's pretty infuriating. But I thought that question was kind of weird. He handled it fine, but, I got nothing bad to say about that father. It's just a terrible thing that he's having to go through. And let me see here. Where is it? Oops, sorry. Seriously, that was an accident. I thought overall it was a fine interview. He obviously didn't take it any certain way. They obviously have a rapport. it's just yeah. It's just not really a necessary question, but guess you can answer whatever you want. It's it's up to him. I don't know. Whatever. It's not really that big of a deal.
We are tracking a possible lead.
Poor Brian. Brian's just been stuck out in the cold for days. It's. There was another video that I was going to play for you. Let's see. That was from the other day. Maybe I don't have another video I wanted to play.
It may be a big break in the case, a grainy image of a speeding car that could...
Like, that is, you remember, and I'm not comparing this, and nor am I trying to be funny in any way, shape, or form. But when you see when you see that kind of video, that's not grain. I mean, that grainy would be an improvement. It looks like one of those UFO videos or Bigfoot videos. I mean, I get that it is significant, but I think it is significant because they can, like I said, they can kind of track the way that the car was headed. Piece by piece, down the road or whichever way they turned or, whatever. And, but like, it's just a really, hopefully the other videos show something more clear. Maybe this person stopped at a gas station somewhere, or, I mean, there's got to be, and I think that this is what they're doing, but I don't know that, a way to track this white vehicle, even with grainy images. Yeah, it's a picture. Exactly. Did I see Coy in the chat too? Thanks for those pictures, Coy. You scared the hell out of me. Bro, it's a picture of a videoed video. I feel like when I just read that, like, we're in the nexus of the universe now. But I totally get what you're saying. Thank you, but when someone says, how are you feeling first holiday without your... Yeah, I mean, what's he going to jump up and say? Yeah, man, we feel great. I drank my protein shake this morning, had some egg whites, and, I mean, come on, obviously they're not going to be doing good. I don't care if this happened in May. Wouldn't matter. Traffic cameras, correct. I saw Coy here earlier, but Coy scares me sometimes. Sometimes he scares me, and sometimes he don't. You know what I mean? Thank you. And someone says, how are you feeling? Yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird thing. Q, they can check the blue line or all star and it will tell if it was in the area. I think you can make a statement, best wishes to your family on this Christmas. I think you can make a statement, best wishes to your family on this Christmas without your girls. I mean, yeah, it's whatever. I'm not a fan of the question, but what do they say? Like, some questions don't need answers. That would probably be one of those questions. And so, what time is it here? 14. All right. So, let me bring up, and we'll just listen to the. Like I said, I enhanced a little bit as well as I could.
What did you say to Adam? Like, I told Adam everything. What did you say to Adam? Like, I told Adam everything. What did you say to Adam? Like, I told Adam everything. What did you say to Adam? Like, I told Adam everything. What did you say to Adam? Like, I told Adam everything.
Like I said, I don't know. It's funny. People kept asking me, where did this audio come from? Watch the whole video. And then maybe, thanks for being here, guys.
There is no investigation. This boy
Appreciate
has
it.
Really? This to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has
Not really. This to me. Right. Idiot. I've done my best. It's hard, that's real tough.
but I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys.
I'm gonna do what I gotta do for me and my boys and my kids.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
Live from the NBD Production Studios, you're in the lab with your host, Joshua Diaz.
There is no investigation. This boy has...
It's not, really? This to me.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys. But I have to...
There is no investigation.
Don't say any F's and stuff.
But I have to put her